live. Last time when we had our Overwatch match, it was an incredible game by the BPC Barons with an incredible 3 out of 5 victory. This time, we will be facing against the University of Central Missouri, and this time, their team has had over 2 years of experience with their own sports versus the underdog BPC Barons. But I think we'll be having a wonderful match tonight based on our experience in last game. We have Coach Peter coming in now to see how things are going to be on. Coach Peter,
hello.
What are your predictions for tonight?
I think it's going to be a good game. I think there might be some back and forth, maybe a couple rounds given on each side, but I think overall it's going to be a good game. We're going to have some good plays.
Right.
Our team's been practicing a lot today, watching over some of their past games for the last couple times that they've played, trying to see what are their weaknesses, what are their strengths,
right?
What heroes can they pull out and make their best plays with, and which ones do they need to be playing together.
Right. Since the BPC Barons are a little bit of an unknown, is that going to be an advantage to you guys?
I think it can be. We've been trying to put as much of our footage online whenever we've played. That way our fans can watch, our family can watch, but also people can learn that we're a school that takes esports seriously and that we want to be much of competition as any other team.
I know back during wrestling in high school, for instance, we would still watch our own footage back again and again, but we would do our best to try and keep our own footage from the enemy seeing that, even though they'd be recording their own matches. So I think the next question is: how have you guys been preparing to face this team that's been doing this for now in their second year?
Well, we just went and looked up the other team and tried to learn a bit about their players, what roles they play, what heroes they like to play as, so that we can get the idea of what kind of heroes do we want to choose, knowing what kind of heroes they like to choose.
Right.
I mean, they might go into that match and not choose their main characters at all, but we're going to try to go and prepare with the best mindset that we can.
All right. Well, that sounds absolutely wonderful. At the moment, if I'm correct, the BPC Barons are finishing up their quick play match.
Yes, they are.
So it'll be just a short little bit before we are able to begin.
And we're back.
It'll be just another few short minutes before the BPC Barons are going to be able to face off against the University of Central Michigan. Missouri. I'm sorry. Missouri. Man, I hate when I do that. I'm not going to lie. There used to be less M states, in my opinion.
Don't worry, I'm always here to correct you.
That's a good point. You're always here to correct me for Overwatch terminology and everything like that. I really need you over here. Gamer Mom Nurse, who are y'all playing tonight? The University of Central Missouri. Thank you for the question. So because we were able to find out, essentially the team comp of University of Central Missouri, being able to say, hey, they normally go with this heroes and things like that. What heroes are we going to expect from the BPC Barons?
I think we're going to expect some Reinhardt, some Widowmaker, definitely some Lucio, and probably a Mercy, for sure.
The coach is now discussing with the BPC Barons, seeing what all they need to do, what their current strategy is, and how they're going to be interacting with everything. I'd like to say it again, the Brewton-Parker College is a Christian university, and our main goal through esports is not just to absolutely crush the enemy team, but also to spread the word and love of God. To represent Jesus Christ to all of our capabilities, no matter where that is, whether that's on the field, on the mat, on the track, or on our keyboards. Brewton-Parker is an amazing college that allows various students to, in a liberal arts settings, to use their esports talents, use their sports talents in order to make a difference in the world. Once again, it will just be very, very, very shortly before it all starts. The coach is still being talking to his players. The situation is a little tense at the moment. Yes, it would be interesting if we could split a screen into the other college's broadcaster for esports. However, I like to hog the attention. I very much, very much, very much love to hog the attention. Gamer Mom Nurse. It's all gone quiet in the gaming room. Of course, other than me, who's announcing that it's all quiet, but still. They're mentally preparing for the battle ahead, seeing what all they need to be doing. Preparing their heroes, messaging each other, staying in focus. This match will be tough, but the BPC Barons have a plan. It seems as though they're about to join. Ooh.
What's going on? How do you turn on private? Go to social. Turn the options. Let's put on private.
They're currently discussing at the moment how they're going to end up joining the match and everything like that. I guess until then, we'll wait to see how we can answer any kind of questions. At the moment, I've just put in the chat if there's any other questions that our viewers may have that they would like to have answered on the stream. And Peter is back. So, has Brewton-Parker ever faced the University of Central Missouri outside of esports?
I don't know. That would be a question for Jonathan. Let me pull him over.
Coach Rose is coming over to the mic.
How you doing, guys? How you doing?
Coach Rose, it's always an exciting moment whenever you get close to the mic, isn't it?
I can't wait.
All right, we have just a really quick question. Has Brewton-Parker ever faced the University of Central Missouri before? Are they a part of the NIA with Brewton-Parker?
Oh, that's a good question. I don't think we've ever had a chance to face them on another sports team, so it might be a first-time match here.
Right. How do you think the Overwatch matches are going to play out today? The BPC Barons are coming in as almost like this new team undergods. They don't know what to expect. Essentially, we're the crazy, wild rabies dogs that are ready to attack. Well, Well, the University of Central Missouri is more of these home-trained hunting hounds. Who do you think are going to get it?
It's a tough matchup here.
Yeah.
I know last matchup when we played Kaiser University Pembroke Pines,
Right.
We were both first-year programs, so it's a learning experience for us.
Right.
I know University of Central Missouri is going to be a solid program. They've been doing this for a little bit. They've got good guys there. So it's definitely going to be an interesting match to watch.
I've said this a little bit earlier in the live stream, and I also talked about it in the previous live stream. But with one of the important things about Brewton-Parker is the fact that it's a Christian university, and I want to ask, how do you think that is best portrayed on say the volleyball court, since you're the volleyball coach, and on the keyboard or anywhere like that? Just how our players act, or what other specific things you guys try and do?
I'm sorry, what was that again? I was watching this live stream. You were getting things going. I was excited to start to see
All right,
this.
I was gonna say, how do you and how your team and how do other teams represent themselves in Christ? Since BPC is a Christian university and originally founded as a Baptist institute, how do y'all choose to do that?
It's exciting to see that. I think with the volleyball team, I know for us, we just serve with love. I think it's important that we go out and serve our community and continue doing those things, holding ourselves to a higher standard and really, glorifying God on the court.
Right.
That our court, the volleyball team, the program, me coaching, it's a platform that I can shine the light of the gospel.
Right.
I think esports is the same thing. So getting the guys online, getting the guys working with other teams, getting the guys working with a lot of programs is something that we want to do, as well as outreaching. Esports is a very fast up and coming thing right now, and I think it's exciting to see. So, and it looks like we're getting ready to go.
Yeah. Right now, we're about to have a capture the central point. The BPC Barons versus UCM are going to be going at each other, trying to capture this one central point on the match. All right. The first to score 2 points, 2 out of 3 points, will win. It's going to be insane. So, are there any special pregame activity meals the BPC Barons participate in?
Make sure you control the camera.
I will.
I'm thinking about like whenever after the game is over and all that other stuff, or going back to practice.
Looks like the Barons will be on the blue team. We have Jurgen going as our Roadhog.
They're on left. They're all.
We have Salsa 2 once again going as Lucio, making sure to provide that critical area healing. It looks like they've already encountered the enemy team. Dakar as our Winston jumping around, making sure that he's electrocuting people with his Tesla cannon, and making sure that that everyone else is staying off and charging up that ult, so he's able to slap them around as we go back to It's My World, who has unfortunately been taken out by the enemy team's Ash Dasher, bouncing around as Doomfist, trying to make it so that way the point is not captured and he's able to but unfortunately the point is in the end taken by UCM. It's My World sneaking around the back, making sure, turning invisible. It looks like he's about to encounter the Ash. The Ash doesn't know that he's there. Let's see how he plays this out. And unfortunately, he's detected, but he's able to hack into the Ash, making sure that they're not able to deal as much damage. And it looks like the BPC Barons are flanking from behind. Doomfist coming in, charging up a quick burst, but it looks like he's having to face the Hammond. And the question is, are the BPC Barons going to be able to make it to that central point? And it looks like the team has been able to do it. Winston in front of the charge, along with the Sombra, and the BPC Barons are now capturing, while the enemy team has only gotten the 36%, 37%. Sombra coming back is It's My World. Quickly healing, throw down teleporter, so that way if she needs to get out, he can get out of trouble. He is able to, with an ult being charged by Winston. Oh, but unfortunately Winston is taken out by Banana there, Reinhardt. We cut back to Roadhog. We cut to Zion as Mercy. It looks like she's trying to stay behind the back, trying to stay behind the wall, providing a critical heal to Sombra, as Sombra disappears and teleports out of danger. Lucio providing healing for his team as they are about to gather up to make another push against UCM. Looks like they're about to charge, but they're about to face a Hammond this time. Summer going against the Hammond, using her teleport to quickly get out of there. It looks like she's a feint. She's made that distraction. Let's see if that Sombra. Oh, but Winston coming in once again, using his ultimate to slap them around like children. Sombra on the point, beginning to capture it, playing that objective by using her teleport again. And looks like she's charging up her ult, so that way she's able to shut down multiple team members. Oh! Roadhog with the hook and shoot, but unfortunately Roadhog is taken out by Banana as their Reinhardt. Dasher coming in with a punch, but he's able to use his Meteor Strike ultimate to see how many people he's actually able to get off the point, punching and throwing and shooting as much as he can. Looks like we've made a switch into Tracer, and we have entered overtime. Winston needs to stay on that point, and we need so many people. It's My World coming in as Tracer, seeing how much damage they can do, being a quick target that barely anyone can do, and then Zach Febreze as Lucio putting down a ultimate, but unfortunately, the objective is captured by UCM. How do you think that game went, Peter?
It was a struggle. It was our first round against them. It'll just be learning experience from there, what champions they were using, their kind of gameplay. All about where do they position in the map to try to push us out of the point, and how can we respond to that in this next round.
Okay, so Gamer Mom Nurse asked, so are there any special pregame activities or meals the BPC Barons participate in for esports?
Our pregame activity has been practicing, just hammering it out.
Right. I come about an hour early to see how they warm up. Usually they'll do something called quick play where they're able to play against more I should say casual players. Then they go into competitive to get people against their closer skill level. But all that, and it looks like we're having some serious lag. Lag is something that is ultimately deadly. We won't get anything like that in football or soccer or anything like that. Sometimes the wiring on computers is just not hitting at the right times. The question is, how will the BPC Barons be able to tackle this problem? It's My World, this Junkrat, laying down as many mines as he possibly can. And it seems as though UCM is able to put people on the point, and they are the first ones to capture it. I already have 1 point in. Can the BPC Barons capture this point? Looks like they have the enemies clustered together. This is very good for our Winston, who's using his Tesla's gun, able to do a little bit of damage at the time, but jumping around, making sure that he's able to do what he needs to do to distract the enemy team. Salsa Tube, and Dakar as Winston and Lucio taken out. The point is now at 20%. The team is waiting on each other. Dasher, Doomfist, Guitar, Salsa Tube, getting that speed boost from Lucio, flying around, making sure that they have all the heals they need to have. Winston putting down a dome so that way he can protect his team, but unfortunately he's put to sleep by one of the enemy's Anas. And we have an ultimate being placed down by the enemy team's Hampton. As he places down mines, what he's able to do is essentially like Torbjorn, able to create a no-go zone. So they pull out the BPC Barons pull out their own Ana, seeing if they can take out those mines, so that way they don't walk into them again. Looks like the BPC Barons are now in a choke point. Because this is one of their only few areas where they're actually able to escape. They need to heal up each other. It looks like they're on low help, and at the moment they seem like they're trapped by UCM. But they're flanking around the other side. UCM not quite expecting that. Roadhog almost coming in with a kill. And the BPC Barons are now on the point contesting, and let's see if they're able to capture it. 71-0 at the moment. They have to stay on this point, try and keep it captured. And Bite Me has become Genji, and as you can see in the kill feed, he was able to take out a few of the BPC Barons. The BPC Barons are now no longer at the point and must respawn.
Genji up top, flash him.
They're making sure. Oh, looks like they've been cornered. Solstitude using his ultimate, give it a quick boost, and also J-Rain making sure that he's able to use his ultimate to get rid of as many enemies as possibly can. He's not able to do as much as he probably would have liked to, but they are back on the point, and now they are in overtime. The BPC Barons need to capture this point. If they're able to capture this point, they can hold it in against UCM. Let's see if they're able to do it. Lucio trying to go in for it, trying to meet back with his team, but also being able to capture a point. But unfortunately, they lost that round. As we go into play of the game, the BPC Barons lose that game 2-0 against the University of Central Missouri. So, Peter,
I gotta help.
all right,
Get them in order.
you're going to help get them in order? The coach is currently helping them get in order, seeing what kind of new plans they need to have right now. As we switch to our next mat, it's a boozing. So it will be another capture the point map, but instead, when they capture a point, the point will continue. In that last round, the BPC Barons were unfortunately not able to capture the central point both times. It's very critical that the Barons are able to get a quick lead now. Vampy Danny says, "Good luck, guys. Thank you." Gamer Mouse, shout out to Winston and Dasher. Dasher, you've been shout out to. Beaker's Meep says, "I like it better when we slap them around like children." I'll make sure to point out when we are slapping them around like children. We're going to see now what the plan is, the current plan of action. Looks like some things are going to be changed around. See if we can change up possibly change up our own hero roster to see how that's going to be like. So, what's the plan now, Peter?
We just had to go in and talk. We've got to figure out what map we're going to call. Make sure that after losing the first round, we get to pick the next map. So we got to make sure we're all in agreement with it, and that we can come up with our plan for this map, since we get a little bit of an advantage having choosing that.
Yes. We have Beaker's Meep saying, "I use Ritalin when I lag." That's whoa. That's an option, but unfortunately, my brain isn't wired using copper. So, unlike our PCs and internet are. So, I wish my PC could take Ritalin. Don't you?
That would be nice. Help speed it up a little
Yeah.
bit.
Get it really focused instead of having just one window open, like multiple windows open that run mediocrely. Always keep one window open and it runs like 40K, 3000 FPS. So how would you say those last two matches went, or that one game?
It was a bit of a struggle. The biggest thing is watching them and learning from that experience.
Right. Do you plan on changing y'all's team roster now?
I believe I've heard them talking about what different champions they'll be using on Havana.
Right. So what makes Havana as a map special from all the other maps? Not just saying the location, more of a Japanese and Asian influence, but also as what makes a map more difficult, more complex, or more simple and easier to maintain?
It's all about the pathing for the map, which direction, what kind of alleyways and hidden tunnels or doors that either team could hide behind. Especially with Escort, you're moving across the map the whole time, rather than being able to kind of stick to a general area like you can and capture the point.
Right.
So that's the biggest difference in this mode.
Now, the other thing with Overwatch maps is, I said this before, and I believe the first live stream I was shoutcasting in, just like the characters in this game, each of these maps have a story and a place. These Overwatch maps are based on mostly real locations that Peter throws up his hands. He's not into the lore as much as I am. I'm more of a story. I like me a bit of a story, I'm not going to lie. Anyways, these locations are based in a 2080 version of our future. A very hopeful, very bright future. We are slowly beginning to start as we enter the game.
All right, here we go.
Looks like no one has actually chosen their heroes yet. We have Bite Me at a master rank. One of the highest levels you can actually reach in Overwatch, if I'm correct. Yes?
Yes, it is.
Yes. So what does it actually take? How much time would you say they would have had to put into that in order to get to that rank?
hundreds and hundreds of hours.
That is an incredible amount of time to get good at Overwatch. We actually do see a little bit of a hero. It's My World going as Widowmaker, seeing who she can snipe and not snipe. Zion also going as Ana, a sniping healer, being able to use her bullets both to heal and damage. Dasher going as Genji. And we have J-Rain going as Zarya.
So we do see a bit of a change up this time. Hopefully they'll be able to take this and get a good bit of an advantage with this change up in their lineup.
What do you think their plan is?
Looking at this team, they're trying to attack from a distance a bit more now. They have a bit more of a long-range attacking scheme, but also they have a Genji and the Winston, who are very much about being up close and personal with the enemy.
Right.
So they're trying to mix it up a little bit now.
Is J-Rain also taking the place as their normal Junkrat with Zarya's ability, and they've actually come off? The enemy team is officially attacking, going up against that Hammond, and going up against everybody as much as they can. We have Ismail trying to find a good sniping location, but unfortunately she's taken out by the enemy Hammond. Hammond is trying to get all up in close quarters, being a ball, rolling around to the place, being as aggravating as he possibly can. Winston trying to counter that Hammond, showing him which tank is more movable, which one's more flexible, and which one can really jump around all over the place. J-Wayne providing shields to as many of their teammates as they possibly can, so that way they're able to push the cart, and they are pushing the cart. They are making sure that cart is constantly on the moon. It looks like they held UCM back, but Hammond comes in. He's flying above. Looks like he tried to smash the ground, but nothing can stop the BPC Barons from staying off that cart. Ooh, but looks like Genji was able to take out Zion, and Rickles Mort was able to take out our Widowmaker. Dakar staying on the point as much as they possibly can. And it looks like the enemy team also has a Lucio. Lucio being able to make sure that the enemy team is able to stay at an incredible amount of health, with slowly regaining health over time. Looks like the Widowmaker is going to be trying to take out the Genji, but the Genji is just a little too fast for that sniper. All right, Widowmaker going against the Hammond. Let's see how It's My World's able to handle it. And it looks like they're all trying to stay back as the payload is now being pushed back into their territory. Unfortunately, Dasher isn't able to block any shots with his sword. The BPC Barons are pushing back. Dasher making sure no one's from behind, and it's Genji versus Genji. Let's see how it works out. Sword versus sword, Ninja Star versus Ninja Star. But Genji has more important things to deal with, now dealing with Hammond and everything else. Genji versus Genji once again, flying around, zipping around like the true ninjas they are. Let's see how it's able to turn down. And Dasher is unfortunately taken out, not by Genji, but by Rickles Morty. I'm realizing that reference in his name. His name is a Rick and Morty reference. The BPC Barons are trying to stay together as much as they can. They need to stay together in order to make sure that the other team stays separated.
Genji's to the left. Oh, no, he's not. Okay.
Looks like J-Rain using Zarya's particle cannon as almost a slower, less damaging grenade launcher. So that way they're able to arc over, making sure that deal damage. And we have Winston once again going around, slapping the enemy around like children, as Winston always does, using his ultimate. We had Biggersmead asking for this, and Dakar provided. Oh, but unfortunately Winston is taken out by Hammond's ground smash. It looks like Genji is pulling out his ultimate, using his sword to slash and dash the enemy Reinhardt. Let's see if he's able to. He was able to use his damage to take out a lot of the FPS, but DPS side of the enemy team. But unfortunately, Dasher is taken out by Banana as Reinhardt. Dasher now switches over to Sombra, looking like they're going to be able to make some kind of flank. I believe that's the plan. They're centering around that cart as much as they can. The cart moves just a little bit, and they have 50 seconds left to get that cart back all the way to their next objective. The BPC Barons are now back at their spawning location, trying to wait on each other, making sure that they're able to make another wave of attack. Lucio waiting up. Looks like they're trying to go around flank. We have the tank sneaking around, making sure that the enemy team doesn't know where they're coming from. And it looks like the Overwatch Barons are coming from behind, but the enemy team seems to have noticed now they need to get to that cart as quick as they possibly can, and maybe even if need to, push the cart all the way through overtime. Looks like Zarya is using her ultimate to gather up the enemy so that way the Winston can do some damage easier. And it looks like Junkrat was able to It's My World is able to take down the enemy team Lucio. Our Lucio is now on the point. They have three people on the point, and they need to stay on that cart in order to keep it in overtime to make it to the next objective. as they're staying on. We have It's My World using Junkrat as almost a defensive leg, staying as close and as far away from the enemy as he can, shooting over walls with his grenade launcher, making sure the enemy is always having damage dealt to them, because if you go over the shields don't really mean anything, do they? Overtime is still going, but the point is contested, so that means it's not moving. And unfortunately, round 1 is complete. They were not able to bring their car to one of their objectives. It is now 0v0. The BPC Barons need to make sure that UCM is not able to make it to the next objective. So, how would you say that round was, Peter?
It was well. They were able to make a good couple plays to come off. They just weren't able to pull it all the way through.
Right.
They'll be able to make it. This time they have the defensive side. They can. They know how to lay out their defense. They know how to stand up against this enemy team.
Right. And it looks like we're actually seeing a switch up on the BPC Barons. I noticed that Salsa Tube, normally going as our Lucio, is now going as Baptiste. And J-Rain.
We have a completely different lineup this round.
Holy cow. Dakar going as Torbjorn, making sure to set down turrets. Let's switch around. Zion going as Moria, if I'm correct. It's My World going as May, being able to freeze. Dakar going as Sigma, controlling gravity. Salsa Tube jumping around as Baptiste, using his control. And we have J-Rain going as Hammond. It looks like they're getting prepared for anything at this point. Switching it up, making sure that none of their heroes are going to be able to be countered. Let's see what they do. Sigma putting up a shield very, very quickly. And it looks like, the Hammond charges in, seeing how that's going to work out. And looks like the PCC's Barons are setting up in one location, even healing turrets and everything, not just their own teammates. So that way they have another man of firepower, not just their own. Baptiste using his healing grenades, making sure that his entire team is essentially has splash healing, literally throwing medicine on the ground until someone picks it back up. The Hammond running around on the enemy team, using a strut of the building to make sure that he's able to move around as fast as he can. But the Genji being frozen. May is a great counter to Genji from It's My World, slowing him down, essentially saying, you're not going to move.
Yeah, I'm coming back. Yeah.
Sigma. May, once again, going against that Hammond. How well do you think the May is going to play against that Hammond? This is a very quick-moving team. With that freeze gun able to slow people down, essentially, how well do you think that's going to work out?
I think it's going to work well. May is
Torbjorn
definitely-
using his ultimate real quick, putting it all over the cart, making sure it's the no-go zone, and it's an elimination by multiple Barons, but it's a defeat on that round, since UCM is able to make it to that first objective. We have a play of the game by Jonah as Hammond. Once again, as you can see, using his minefield, setting up a trap, setting up his own no-go zone for the enemy team. Peter is now discussing with his teammates what all needs to happen, seeing what all is going on. It looks like the UCM has won 2 out of 5 of the games tonight. We'll see how the BPC Barons do. They need to win these next 3 games in a row. If not, they'll lose this. The team is discussing what they need to do. Next plan's a strategy. This is very difficult for the BPC Barons at the moment. They're playing incredibly well against this esports team from UCM. Peter's still discussing what needs to be happening. Going to each one of their teammates, encouraging them, raising the morale. And they discuss what needs to happen for their next match. Which map they're going to, and how everything's going. Looks like the map is Eichenwald. A map set in a German castle, nonetheless. Incredibly beautiful map. Shows the wonderful artists that work in Blizzard. Their incredible talent. And another part of the lore. The team is still discussing what they need to be doing. Their plans for this map. Eichenwald is a long and complex map. They use greenery for camouflage, various buildings for cover, and let's see how they do. How did that last match go, Peter?
They did better in the attack than they did on the defense. The trouble with the defensive side is if you weren't able to push far with your attack, then on the defense you're already set back because they only had to go further than you did.
Right.
I'm optimistic about this next one on Eichenwald. Last time they ran Eichenwald, or they've done Eichenwald a lot the past few weeks, they know how to play it. They know what champions to choose on this one. They should be able to have this in the bag.
Do you think they'll go with their normal hero comp or do what they did last time? And it looks like they're doing
They're changing.
All right, we have It's My World going as McCree, a cowboy, using his pistol to snipe enemy players. Let's go on that hero comp again. We have It's My World going as McCree, Dakar going as Roadhog, J-Rain going as... Dakar going as Reinhardt, Jane Rain going as Roadhog, Salsatube going as Lucio, and we have Zion going as Zenyatta.
We're still waiting on Dasher. And he's picking out
Echo.
We have a very different team in this one. I feel confident about them in almost all of these heroes. They each have very heavy, strong tanks.
Right.
And with It's My World going as McCree, it's a very strong attacker.
Right. But he has to be very precise with his shots.
He does.
Yes. He's also incredible at close range with that left click, able to fan fire his revolver. It looks like he's able to flashbang another opponent using his flashbang. McCree letting out a lot of damage. Dasher flying around, seeing if he can get a quick burst of damage using his... What are those things that Echo uses anyways from her?
I don't know. She's a fairly new hero to the world.
All right. Looks like they're about to go. Hammond wrecking the place, seeing what they can do, literally using himself as a wrecking ball. Salsatube using his left click, so that way the Reinhardt is able to essentially being bounce back, bounce back, bounce back, bounce back. Reinhardt, our team's Reinhardt being a literal shield, but unfortunately being taken out by multiple of our teammates, by Bite Me, Rickersmore, and another. Looks like everyone is resetting once again. They need to get this payload. It looks like they plan on going for the flank this time. Ultimate slowly charging. No, Roadhog just going for the flank by himself. Oh, but he's put to sleep by the Ana. Lucio getting his ult ready. They might be making their push very soon. Very, very critical push very soon with Lucio's ult. J-Rain taking some damage, having a little bit of discord. Let's see how they're able to do, and it looks like Dakar has been able to eliminate another enemy player, and Dasher, using his ultimate to be as the enemy team's Roadhog, now flying around, dealing damage, but unfortunately our Roadhog ends up getting their Hammond, trying to smack Hammond with their hammer, but unfortunately Hammond is able to escape. J-Rain taken out from his Roadhog. Reinhardt being healed as much as he can, but he's being put to sleep. Let's see if It's My World will be revived by our team's Mercy, and it looks like there are more important things to be doing right now. Not only that, but essentially because McCree is so close that they don't need to revive him at the moment. They're making this push through the main gate, using Reinhardt as that shield ally team, the Baron, shooting through the shield. And wonderful takeout on that turret by Dasher as our Genji. He's zipping around, making sure he's doing what he needs to do, attacking the ground targets, causing bleeding with his dash and sword, but unfortunately he's taken out by the enemy team's Ana. 1 minute and 16 seconds left for them to capture this point. They need to make sure this point is taken. We keep on going and going. Beaker's Meep said, Missouri's supposed to be the show me state. Can we show them the South Georgia thumping? Yes, we can. Yes, we can.
On his opener.
We keep on going and going. It looks like the Barons have met up. They're doing another push, seeing what all they need to do. Zion having his damage boosted, by Zion damage boosting our Lucio. It's My World dealing tons of damage as McCree flashbanging the enemy Hammond, making sure that Hammond's not able to do anything, and everyone's pushing up using Lucio's ult, making sure that they're able to cast that to catch the point, but unfortunately they are not able to keep it. But now it's contested again, but once again they are off the point. 17 seconds left. Let's see how the BPC Barons handle this. It looks like they're going to be waiting once again for a final push. Oh no, It's My World sneaking around as McCree, dealing as much damage as he can, but unfortunately, round 1 is complete as It's My World is taken out by Rickles Morty.
I think it's supposed to be Rick Less Morty.
Rick Less Morty?
Yeah. And that he doesn't have a Rick.
Huh.
I could be wrong.
You could, well, I am more able to be, I would say I would be wrong. So, Rick Less Morty.
Jonathan's over here saying it is Rick Less Morty.
It is Rick Less Morty?
We can feel bad for this Morty. He has lost his Rick.
Oh no. We wait for the next team comp. Let's see what the Barons pull out now. It looks like
Bit of a different play. We have Dasher pulling out a Bastion, hoping to get some good defensive
Right.
plays off of him. Dakar is bringing out the Sigma. He's a good, strong tank. He has a big shield and can throw rocks just across the field at the enemy.
right. We have Bastion as an example of one of the heroes that you can actually see changed a lot over the course of Overwatch's history. In the Overwatch beta, Bastion actually used to have his own shield that would plop right in front of him as a turret. And the idea was that he could not move the full 360 that he used to be able to, but he was much more powerful in that turret form. But still, very, very aggravating.
Cool.
And you actually see various plans from other Overwatch users from how they plan on doing this now. So what they're doing now is known as protecting the Bastion, and essentially they're doing a version of that beta build, but using multiple heroes to achieve the same effect. Using
And
Sigma,
they pulled off already thinking out the Ash.
that's an incredible play by the Car and the Mercy. Bastion doing as much damage as he can, quickly taking off the Overwatch shield. And it looks like what they're able to do, even though Genji's a great counter at the Bastion, they are surrounding the Bastion like he is the actual point. Making sure the Bastion is able to... Oh, but unfortunately we have a few heroes trying to get behind the Bastion. Bastion being able to heal, use a turret, and dealing as much damage as he possibly can. Looks like the Barons will be able to defend this point with this strategy. Bastion is laying down a wall of lead, not letting anyone get past. It's kind of beautiful.
It's perfect. Their play is working out just how they want it to be working.
Sometimes the simplest strategy is the simplest and best solution. Oh, but it looks like
Someone behind you.
it looks like they've gotten behind the point, snuck around possibly. But they're not doing as much damage as we thought that they would be doing. Let's switch to the other heroes, see what their plan is. Torbjorn walking around, making sure that no one's able to do anything. Sigma placing down as many shields as they can, and it looks like Bastion has turned into his tank mode, along with a Lucio ult, making sure the tank mode is staying in great health. Bastion able to make tons and tons of damage once he's turned into that tank mode.
Okay, let's go back to position.
It looks like they're going back again, making sure they're protecting that baby Bastion, making sure the Bastion is able to deal as much damage as they can. Sigma putting up a shield right there, so that way even if they are able to sneak to that point, the enemy won't be able to fire at the Bastion. This is an incredible play by the BPC Barons.
As
Bastion
you can see,
getting
Mercy here, Zion playing Mercy, just making sure that the whole team is kept alive, especially the Bastion.
Right.
And here he is reviving. Oh.
But unfortunately taken out by Rickless Morty. Rickless Morty using Junkrat in order to deal tons of damage using his Rip Tire. Let's see if the BPC Barons are able to defend this point. going up against it. Oh, but unfortunately, it's a defeat. UCM has won.
Well, that is it for the Barons for tonight.
It looks like the stream. Are we ending the stream here?
We will be ending the stream here tonight. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for watching and supporting your BPC Barons.
All right.
We will be back on
Monday.
Monday night.
Right. We'll see you next time.